Want honesty? I was like 33% into a Chargers-Chiefs Round 3 preview, maybe 37%.
For the win. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Jacksonville off to Kansas City for a second time. First visit didn't go so well. I mean, it did for the Chiefs.
Travis didn't know what to do with himself with so much real estate.
That boy good.
Let's get it out of the way so we can check the box. Week 10, so kind of a while ago, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' passing attack, probably the best showing of the year when you weigh competition. Mahomes 331 yards, 4 touchdowns, a rating just under 130 versus the Jaguars. Second highest rating he had all year.
Mahomes going end zone, and it's a touchdown.
Bath Bomb Bob's performance that week, symbolic of his MVP-worthy 2022, second in the league in rating, led the league in TDs and yards per game, threw for more yards and had a higher yards per attempt and yards per completion than in 2021. So the Jags taking on a cat who was better without the cheetah.
Great job in that last play, dude. Great job. Great job. One play at a time, baby. Get right back on it, right back on it.
But the Chiefs aren't taking on the Week 10 Jaguars either. They're taking on a team rolling. 6-game win streak, stage an improbable comeback, come into this week off one of the best halves of football you'll ever see a team play.
Looking under pressure, throws wide open, making the catch. Marvin Jones.
Were Asante Samuel being able to claim Lawrence as a dependent Crocs lined up? Who knows?
Here comes extra pressure, but the pass is intercepted. Asante Samuel.
But those 4 first-half INTs, the humongous waves that Lawrence had to battle, Stu, and he wasn't lying to the guy at ABC. Danger is his business. Trev throws a TD right before the half, 3 more in the second, comeback complete.
Second well. Going deep, has a man open again. Zay Jones for the touchdown.
And that's the QB the Chiefs are dealing with. Strong mental character, I think they call it. But will Lawrence have time for such heroics again? This is your first key matchup to watch. Lawrence's line gave him great protection versus Nick Bosa, Khalil Mack and company. Lawrence only faced 18% pressure versus LA, and he dropped back 49 times.
Lawrence fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown!
Jacksonville, top 5 in sacks allowed for the year, matched up against the team with the second most QB takedowns in 2022. Chris Jones is their lead bag man, 15.5 sacks, first team All-Pro.
Comes in for the sack.
A little bit of a sandwich at the ball with Chris Jones.
Jones sacked Lawrence 1.5 times in KC's win. Chiefs planted him 5 times overall.
And the Chiefs defense now has 3 sacks already in this game.
Those inside uglies will also play a role in another key battle that Jacksonville hopes tilts its way based on history. Their run game versus Kansas City's run defense. Travis Etienne, monster 2022.
He's into the open field, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Travis Etienne.
Then in the wild card game, 20 carries, 109 yards, 5.5 per run.
Etienne gets around the corner, picks up the first down.
That was against the league's worst run defense. KC's is much better by comparison. 4.3 yards per carry allowed to running backs isn't great, but when they faced Etienne, he was coming off 3 straight 100-yard games, and Kansas City held him to 4 yards a run on his 11 tries, only 45 yards.
Here's Etienne, and the Chiefs are all over him.
If Lawrence is more second half versus LA Lawrence, which is closer to his body of work, Jacksonville could keep up in a track meet.
So we win as the Jaguars and we lose as the Jaguars. And the only way we're going to come back is as the Jaguars. You got it. There ain't no super fans on this team. It's all us together, right? Let's go.
Even in their loss to Arrowhead, while getting buried 5 times, Lawrence was 29 of 40, 259 yards, 2 TDs, no picks, a 106.1 rating.
Perfect throw right here. Kurt goes over 100. What a catch.
KC's secondary facing the same 4 dudes they faced in Week 10. Marvin Jones scored for Jacksonville last week. Christian Kirk did too, 8 catches, 78 yards, and he had over 100 yards versus KC.
Christian Kirk one-on-one, Derwin James, nice move, not able to stay with him.
Zay Jones comes in off a trip to the paint as well. Almost an identical outing versus LA as Kirk. 8 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown.
Lawrence fires, and that is... Yes.
Zay had 68 yards versus Kansas City, and if Lawrence has time, Jones and Kirk could play a big role again. KC's secondary, most touchdowns allowed in the NFL, tied for 27th in rating allowed, not a lot of INTs, 22nd in completion percentage allowed.
Herbert lets it fly, end zone, caught, touchdown!
Didn't matter which position it was, 95.8 rating allowed to wide receivers, that's 26th.
Burrow throws a slant, Higgins with the catch, he breaks a tackle, he extends the ball, touchdown!
Their troubles on the back end is why their pass rush making an impact is so important to them. To tight ends, Kansas City's allowed a 101.9 rating, 20th.
Ryan backs the pass, looking, fires upfield into the end zone, and it's caught! Jelani Woods! Touchdown!
And the Jaguars can also take advantage of that weakness. Evan Ingram, big year, over 700 yards. Big playoff game, 7 catches, 93 yards, and a TD.
In the pocket, fires, and that'll be caught for the touchdown. Evan Ingram.
Duval is saying to themselves, if we can win a playoff game, turning the ball over 4 times in the first half, going 2 for 10 on third down along the way, what could we do this week versus a susceptible KC defense if we don't look like we stumbled out of the van to start the game? The answer to that is largely tied to how well the Jags defense handles Mahomes and company.
We worked our ass off for this opportunity right here. Believe that you're ready to go out there and dominate. Play together, play fast, let's go win a football game.
Jacksonville is dealing with the best offense football had to offer in 2022. First in points per game and yards per game, second on third down and in the red zone.
Mahomes throws it late, he's got Justin Watson, catch in the end zone, touchdown!
For anyone who was living under an NFL rock, Kelsey was the best tight end in the league by a Cartman-like margin.
How you jumping offside on silent count? Hit the sideline, bud.
5-yard line, touchdown! Kansas City! Will Kelsey do it to the Chargers again?
Travis's eyes might be popping out of his head. Player who gave the Jags the most trouble in the wild card game, tight end Gerald Everett, 6 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Jaguars, 119.3 rating allowed to tight ends in 2022, third highest. Makes Kelsey look like he's in for the VIP treatment.
Into the end zone, perfect throw to Hendershot. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Another big battle, the Jags pass defense versus Jerick McKinnon. We mentioned last week, Jacksonville, second lowest rate allowed to running backs this year. Then they take on the king pass-catching running back in Austin Eckler. 4 targets, 2 catches, 8 yards. The ranking wasn't a fluke.
To Eckler. Not a lot of blocking. And can only pick up a few.
This week they take on McKinnon. This is the guy that's quietly made Kansas City's passing attack what it is. Over 500 receiving yards out of the backfield, scored 9 times through the air.
Mahomes now throws it left flat, caught by McKinnon. He'll walk into the end zone, left side, touchdown.
The wideout battle. Jacksonville played Keenan Allen well, 13 targets, 6 catches, only 61 yards. They played Joshua Palmer well, 6 targets, 2 catches, 31 yards. They got pretty solid play from their corners this season, so it wasn't out of character.
As time fires into traffic, no good.
Kansas City's wide receivers, Juju Smith-Schuster, over 900 yards, over 75 catches. He's number 2 in their passing food chain.
Now comes back to the near side, caught Smith-Schuster at the 30, off ahead, 25, touchdown! Smith-Schuster!
Justin Watson and Noah Gray, 600 yards combined, 3 touchdowns. McCole Hardman is back in the fold too after missing time with injury. MVS, over 650 yards.
Mahomes blocked by McKinnon to the end zone. What a grab! Sensational!
Jags want to slow Mahomes, have to be able to get in his face. Brings us to another key matchup. Chiefs passed 5th most in the NFL, gave up the 3rd fewest sacks. 3 linemen made the Pro Bowl.
Big job. Blood in the water, smell blood.
Wide open, Kadarius Toney walks the tightrope, hopping into the end zone.
Jacksonville's front has been bullying teams lately. Roy Robertson-Harris, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen. Their pass rush has played a key role in their win streak. Dropped Herbert 3 times last week, hit him 10.
Herbert wrapped up. taken down. That's Josh Allen.
Chiefs don't run much, but Mahomes had 10 games with 20-plus yards. He ran for 63 yards versus Tennessee. He had plenty of big runs and big moments.
How about that ad-lib by Patrick Mahomes, a Houdini move?
Isaiah Pacheco blossomed as the year wore on. He's the classic, I don't drink beer often, but when I do, it's Dos Equis, 4.9 a run.
And Pacheco plunging into the line. Pacheco, touchdown! Kansas City!
Jags are a tough team to run on. They held Eckler well under his average last week. Chiefs special teams, 23rd defending kickoff returns. Jamal Agnew, Jacksonville's return guy, 134 yards on 4 kickoff returns last week, 125 yards the week before. Enough said.
Agnew trying to provide a spark. And he does. Taken out of bounds near midfield.
Kicking game recap, Jags, Patterson, that game winner, only attempt he had last week, 2 for 2 on extra points, 30 for 35 on the year, 3 misses from 40 to 49. 2 for 3 from 50 plus, 53 is long. Harrison Butker for KC, 18 of 24. 75% isn't great. 4 of his 6 misses are from 50 out. He was 3 for 7 from outside, hit a 62-yarder, longest of the year in the league. That's more than enough. This is a cool matchup, the first time anyone will ever comment and predict the score for a playoff game between KC and Jacksonville. How about that for a bow?